to deliver a decision that will echo for years to come. The justices, representing a wide spectrum of judicial philosophies, issued a unanimous ruling in a case that sits at the crossroads of two fundamental American rights, free speech and the Second Amendment. All 9 justices agreed, regardless of their personal beliefs or political leanings, that government officials cannot use their authority to silence advocacy groups, no matter how controversial or unpopular their views may be. The case at the center of this landmark decision, National Rifle Association of America versus Vuolo, drew national attention. It was closely watched not only for its potential impact on gun rights, but also for its broader implications on the freedom of expression for all Americans. While the court's ruling does not alter existing gun laws, it sends a clear and forceful message. The government cannot engage in indirect censorship by pressuring private entities to stifle speech it finds objectionable. This precedent-setting decision extends its protection to all organizations, whether they advocate for environmental causes, social justice, or any other issue, ensuring that their voices cannot be suppressed by government intimidation or back-channel tactics. From civil rights advocates to grassroots movements, the court reaffirmed that the First Amendment shields everyone, regardless of their message, from government retaliation or coercion. The 9-0 verdict stands as a powerful reminder that defending the First Amendment is not a partisan issue. It is a core principle that transcends politics and remains essential to the health and future of American democracy. The story began after the 2018 Parkland school shooting, when Maria Vuolo, head of New York's Department of Financial Services, allegedly pressured banks and insurers to cut ties with the NRA. The NRA claimed Vuolo's actions were a coordinated effort to financially cripple the organization and silence its pro-gun message. Vuolo's office sent guidance letters warning of reputational risks for doing business with the NRA, which the group argued were veiled threats. Lower courts initially sided with Vuolo, calling her actions legitimate regulatory speech, but the NRA appealed, insisting this was unconstitutional coercion. The Supreme Court agreed to hear the case, setting the stage for a major First Amendment showdown. Justice Sonia Sotomayor, writing for a unanimous Supreme Court, delivered a clear message. Government officials cannot use their power to punish or coerce private groups for their viewpoints. The court revived the NRA's lawsuit, emphasizing that even controversial organizations are protected by the First Amendment. The justices stressed that the First Amendment is a living guarantee, shielding all speech from indirect government pressure or intimidation. The court explained that when a regulator's words, combined with their authority, could be seen as a threat that may be unconstitutional coercion. This decision is a strong reminder. Free speech must be protected from government retaliation, intimidation, or indirect coercion. The unanimity of this decision is striking in an era of deep political division on the court. A 9-0 ruling signals that protecting speech from government coercion is a fundamental, non-partisan principle. The decision's authority is amplified by the fact that justices from both ends of the ideological spectrum agreed. While the case wasn't about gun rights directly, it ensures advocacy groups can't be silenced through regulatory threats. The ruling warns officials nationwide, using government power to suppress speech will have serious legal consequences. Justice Sotomayor's authorship for a unanimous court underscores the broad consensus. The message is clear. No matter the issue, the First Amendment's boundaries are not up for debate. The impact of this ruling extends far beyond the NRA. Advocacy groups of all kinds are now shielded from government efforts to cut off their financial lifelines. Banks and insurers, often caught in political crossfire, now have legal grounds to resist coercive demands from regulators. For citizens, the decision protects the public square, ensuring a diversity of voices and robust debate on controversial issues. The ruling also sets a precedent against even subtle regulatory threats aimed at silencing speech, protecting news outlets and individual activists alike. By preventing indirect censorship, the court keeps the marketplace of ideas open and vibrant. In America, the government cannot dictate which voices are heard. The Supreme Court's unanimous decision drew praise from civil liberties groups like the ACLU, who see it as a vital defense of free speech and a check on government overreach. Supporters argue that if officials can pressure companies to cut ties with one group, they could do it to any group, threatening advocacy across the spectrum. For Second Amendment advocates, the ruling protects not just the NRA, but any organization from being silenced through indirect pressure. Critics worry the decision could make regulators hesitant to warn companies about real risks, fearing their actions might be seen as coercion. The case highlights the ongoing tension between protecting free speech and ensuring effective oversight, a balance courts and lawmakers must continue to navigate. In summary, the Supreme Court's unanimous decision in NRA v. Vullo stands as a landmark defense of the First Amendment, setting a powerful example for future cases. The ruling makes clear that government officials cannot use their power to coerce private entities into punishing disfavored speakers, regardless of the issue at hand. Its 9-0 consensus gives the decision lasting weight as a precedent against future attempts at indirect censorship or subtle government pressure. Advocacy groups now have a stronger legal tool to fight back against financial pressure campaigns that threaten free expression. The case is a reminder that the First Amendment exists to protect even unpopular or controversial speech from government overreach. Ultimately, the ruling affirms that the free exchange of ideas remains a vital cornerstone of American democracy and public life. As we look towards the future, the conversation sparked by this ruling is far from over. Legal experts, advocacy groups, and citizens alike continue to debate the boundaries of free speech, government influence, and corporate responsibility. How will this precedent shape future cases? What new challenges might arise as technology and society evolve? While the Supreme Court's decision has set a clear marker, the landscape of free expression remains dynamic and ever-changing. Stay tuned as we continue to follow these developments and explore what they mean for all of us.